to you for a moment about excuses, because that's something that I made all the time for why I couldn't get sober. It was always somebody else's fault why I couldn't get sober, somebody else's fault why I drank. It was I didn't have this or I didn't have that, and everybody else had this and that and I didn't, and I didn't measure up to the rest of the world. It was always something that I was making up as to why I couldn't get sober. And you know what? None of it was acceptable. It was all just a bunch of nonsense. And one of the biggest lessons I learned was about the lack of money. So 2 years into my sobriety, I was sitting eating dinner with a group of friends in Studio City, California, and they were all $100,000 to $1 million a year wage earners. And I was making a couple $100 a week as a actor, up and coming in Hollywood. And it costs almost $20 for half a sandwich, where we ate at this kind of fancy restaurant, wonderful like the one behind me here. And one night I looked at one of my friends and I said, "Hey man, I can't come back next week and join you." And he said to me, "Why not?" I said, "Look, it costs like $20, just for half a sandwich. I'm making about $200 a week right now. I can't come back here." I said, "You guys spend $300 every Thursday before this meeting going golfing through the afternoon." I said, "You're spending more on playing 18 holes than I am making in a whole week." And he said, "Rob, what does lack of money have to do with you hanging out with us?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "They put free bagel chips out on the table. You can eat those." He said, "They put free pickles out on the table. You can eat those. They'll give you a free glass of water, Rob." And he said, "I bet you if you ask real nice, they'll put a slice of lemon in there for you." And he said, "We'll leave the tip." He said, "So what does lack of money have anything to do with you not staying sober and fellowshipping and camaraderie and growing in your walk with God and sobriety?" And I looked at him and I'm like, "I don't know." He said, "I will see you here next week." The point is, I can continually come up with any excuse that I want. Lack of money, lack of job, lack of relationship, whatever it might be. But realistically, there's no excuse for not me being the best Rob that I can be. There's no excuse for you, really, for not being the best you, because you're someone created by God, just like me. And God only creates the best. So I know if he had a plan for me that was much better than mine, he has a plan that's much better for you. If you're in the middle of an addiction right now, a loved one, a friend, co-worker, I pray today's the last day that they'll have that drink, or you'll have that drink or drug. Because what you've done now is just simply your testimony all the way up until this point. And you'll use it to help others, because your story matters. You matter. And today, I pray that if you're not already, you'll begin living your life of purpose.